AMD Cloud Chronicles in association with CNBCTV18.com.
Hello and welcome to AMD Cloud Chronicles in association with CNBCTV18.com, a series where we decode how cloud computing is reshaping the business and technology landscape. I'm Ritu Bhandari, and in every episode we speak to industry leaders who are driving this transformation from the inside. Now, for a bit of context, AMD is a global semiconductor company that designs high-performance and adaptive computing chips. AMD processors are used to advance the future of the data center, embedded applications, gaming, and PC markets. The company is uniquely positioned to power the end-to-end infrastructure driving the AI era with the broadest portfolio of high-performance compute engines, an open, proven and developer-friendly software platform, and deep collaboration and co-innovation with partners including the largest cloud, OEM, software and AI companies in the world. In this episode, we are turning the spotlight on how cloud and AI are reshaping the telecom and digital financial services landscape. And joining us in our Mumbai studios is Manish Agrawal, COO of Comviva, a leader who has been at the forefront of large-scale global telecom and technology transformations. Manish, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Midhu. Thank you for having me here.
Well, you are a stalwart of the telecom sector. So let me begin by asking you a very broad-based question of what are some of the big tectonic shifts that are happening in Indian telecom right now?
Okay, I'll talk about global telecom and then I'll come to Indian telecom. Telecom industry has got three segments: consumer segment, enterprise segment, which is called B2B, and there is an extended segment which is called B2B2X, where the enterprise capabilities are wrapped around with services by the enterprise customers and they offer it to the consumers. Now, telecom had been struggling with the revenue and the cost pressure. So in order to eradicate that, on the consumer segment, now they are focusing on hyper-personalized services for the consumers. In the B2B segment, now they have come out with new digital services and solutions. And for the enterprise segment, which is a B2B2X, there are a lot of capabilities, telecom capabilities, which they offer to the enterprise, and enterprise leverage those capabilities to offer services. In all of these, the service availability requirement is 100%, and that's where cloud becomes very relevant.
And as far as the India context is concerned?
As far as the India context is concerned, if you look at the operators out here, we are under massive digital expansion. India is leading the digital infrastructure, and telecom is providing a very vital role in implementing this digital infrastructure, particularly in the rural segment.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of services around education, healthcare that is getting extended to the rural segment by these telecom operators. And when they are doing so, they are basing all their solutions on cloud.
Right. Now, you've led some large technology transformations, some large telecom transformations over the decades. Give us a sense of how your perspective on cloud in particular has evolved from those early days of traditional outsourcing models to where you are today, where you are really shaping the Comviva product and platform strategy.
So if I take my first point, I extend it. So if you look at the consumer segment, there are so many operators across in India as well as across the globe. So every operator has to offer hyper-personalized services. All these hyper-personalized services, which is very tailored for every customer, every subscriber, is based on data. Now, this is where the first usage of cloud comes in, where the entire data is getting migrated to cloud. Then the data is getting segmented, where again the cloud providers are helping segmenting the data. And with the application of AI, there are hyper-personalized services which are designed for every subscriber. So that is about the consumer segment. So far as the enterprise segment is concerned, now telcos are coming out with a lot of these new digital services like infrastructure services, smart city, what we call a smart X, IoT services, security services. Now, all of these services require 100% service uptime, very high resilience, low latency, and high throughput. Now, this is where the compute becomes extremely important, and that's where the cloud service providers are, helping a lot. And when it comes to the new services like Industry 4.x or e-healthcare or various kind of AI-enabled services, different kind of content-based services, services which are based on network monetization. Again, the service resilience is very, very important, and that's where the cloud service providers are helping.
Right. And you spent 19 years at Tech Mahindra, of course, in various roles, but one of the key roles was that of Global Practice Head of Telecom at Tech Mahindra. Now, what are some of the key learnings as far as cloud is concerned that you got from your experience there, which perhaps you are now applying at Comviva as you are reimagining the business here?
So one very important learning that I had, which I worked with almost all leading telco operators across the globe, including India, that everybody was looking for revenue expansion, and that revenue expansion required transformation. Transformation required capex, and capex had to come from opex optimization. So there had to be a self-funded transformation model that needed to be implemented. Now that's where the cloud started helping optimizing the cost, because there was a huge invest which was going into infrastructure. Now infrastructure becoming cloud, there was a saving over there. Then cloud service providers brought in AI that further optimized the OPEX, and this is what started going into the CAPEX in new transformation. So telcos today have understood how to optimize the cost and carve out the fund for transformation, and that's where there is a massive business transformation that is going on. The example that I gave you for enterprise expansion, new services rollout to enhance their revenue, is where telcos are focusing on, and that is what we were doing it. We were tailoring our solutions for revenue expansion as against traditional only cost optimization.
Okay, so let's then also talk about Comviva's 2.0 journey. What does that really look like? And when you say cloud first, break that down for us. What does it really mean in terms of, say, product innovation, in terms of operational excellence? Where all do you see that happening?
So today, every telco operator has a cloud strategy, and most of them have got multi-cloud strategy. Multi-cloud strategy in the sense that they would have more than one public cloud hyperscalers, as well as they will also have the private cloud of their own. So the on-prem, but virtualized, which is called private cloud. So the first strategy that we adopted and we implemented is to have our solutions compatible for multi-cloud. Okay, so that irrespective of customer strategy and their choice of technology, our solutions will work. So that was the first one. The second one, everybody is going for SaaSification. So our solutions were earlier developed for on-prem. Now we have migrated these solutions to various other cloud providers. So it's available in the SaaS format. And the third one, that every customer is looking for pay-per-use model.
Yeah.
Okay, because as much as they are earning, they want to invest only that much. So we have also tweaked our cost model, price model to the pay-per-use. So these are the three that we have done. Taking my other point that I was talking about, where the service availability 100% is a must now. So that's where we have developed all our applications into microservices architecture, Kubernetes, so that whenever we are implementing, there is no downtime, and then rest is all AI embedded.
Right. But, telcos are operating in an extremely dynamic environment today, right? So how does Comviva strike that right balance between hyperscaler cloud models and between telco-led private cloud requirements? How do you walk that tightrope?
So there are two aspects to it. One, every operator have their own strategy. They have decided what they would want to take it to a public cloud and what is that they would want to keep it. So we have kept that flexibility. But in general, what we have seen, that anything which is related to compliance, data privacy, those applications and that part of the ecosystem is kept on private cloud, and rest everything is on a public cloud. So we have kept our architecture flexible. Depending upon the need of the customer, we are tweaking our solution and implementing it.
Right. And we are not just in a cloud first world, we are also in an AI first world now. So, when you look at AI heavy workloads across engagement, across monetization, across digital financial services, what do you expect from modern cloud infrastructure providers and silicon partners like AMD?
So first, the cloud use case or the business case, if I may say so, came in to optimize capex investment of an operator or a customer, and that also led to opex. So the first expectation is that it needs to be commercially viable. At many places, it becomes commercially unviable.
Right.
The pricing model, the contracts are still very complicated. So that needs to be eased out, because otherwise the whole cloud business case doesn't work.
Correct.
So that is the first one. The second one is, when there used to be traditional infrastructure, there used to be high availability, there used to be disaster recovery sites. Now all of them have gone. So there is a complete reliance on hyperscalers. That means the service availability, throughput, latency, all have to be absolutely assured. And in recent past, we have seen some of the outages, and that has created a havoc.
Right.
So this is the second one. The third one is interoperability. There are a lot many cloud providers, and on those cloud there are a lot many services which are hosted. Those services are included when we create a solution. I mean, when I'm implementing a Comviva application, I bundle with various other services. So I may choose one from here, one from some other cloud. So there has to be an interoperability. So these are the three that I would expect better from what we have today, considering the customer's requirement.
Right. And you were talking about cost earlier. Let's go back to that. Now, cost efficiency obviously is a constant pressure for telcos, right? In that scenario, how can cloud platforms really help Comviva reduce total operational costs for your customers, and, any wish lists that you have there?
So if you look at any of the cloud provider, including AMD's and any other, those are prevalent. Everybody is talking more about AI than the infrastructure. It started as an infrastructure replacement, but now it is all about AI. So what we are doing is, we are leveraging the AI component of cloud services, bundling with our solution, embedding into our solutions, and that is what is making our solution more business savvy as well as cost effective. So there is a term called AI ops. There are a lot of technologies which are available, AI technologies that is available on the hyperscaler. That is what we leverage, and we make our services AI enabled.
So can you give us any impact metrics, any examples there?
So typically today, every telco operator across the world is looking for a 40% OPEX optimization. When they reduce 40% OPEX optimization, they keep 10% to themselves, because everybody has a very tight balance sheet, and 30% is going towards tech transformation or a business transformation. So this is the minimum that we help them deliver, and anything beyond is a bonus.
Right. Well, let's look ahead then. Where do you see the most exciting cloud native use cases emerging, especially for your customers? Would it be AI-led operations? Would it be smarter network monetization? Anything else that you would add to that list?
So telco is very network rich. 80% of the telco spend of total technology spend goes towards the network. So that's where there is a big use case for cloud implementation. It is still in a little nascent stage, because network requirements are quite rigid, quite stringent, but it's moving in that direction. In Comviva, we are not very dominant on the network side, but we are doing a lot of work on the application side, IT side. That's where, when I talked about hyper-personalized offering, we do have a platform which offers hyper-personalized offering for consumer segment. When I talked about digital products, we do have solutions which are enabling network monetization, which is helping customer enhance their revenue, something like CPaaS, which is communication platform as a service, etc. So we have created solutions which are catering to customer requirement, and these solutions are all hosted on cloud in a SaaS model,
Right.
and they are AI enabled.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about people and leadership now, because people will remain at the heart of all businesses. So even though we are in an AI first world, digital first world, people still remain central, right? You've led large global teams. Give me a sense of, what leadership lessons have stood out for you when you've driven large scale transformations, whether it was AI led transformations or cloud transformations.
I think for any transformation, it is very important that you make it centric to business. So these are the transformations for the business enabled through the technology. So that is my first learning, that we need to keep the business at the epicenter. The second one is that we are living in a very fast evolving world. Skill transformation is an ongoing process, and there is a lot of training that is required. And as you know that AI is creating a lot of opportunities, but also it is creating a lot of fear.
Yeah.
So how to create that culture of implementing AI and doing it as a routine. So skill transformation is very important there. The third aspect is time to market is extremely important. So time to market means very high self-serve. So whatever solution that we design, that solution evolution, whenever the business is requiring new features, new functionalities, it should be more and more self-serve rather than a recoding.
Right.
Okay, and by default, implicitly, everything should be cost efficient. So AI is making solutions very cost efficient. So as much as possible, the AI should be embedded as part of the solution. So these are the four. So one is related to the approach, second one is related to the training, and third one is related to the solution. That is what, as a leader, we are inculcating the culture, so that whatever we do, these three parameters, these three vectors are always kept in mind.
Right. And it's always tough to imagine what the future will look like. But if you were to think ahead and, think totally blue sky, what do you think is the future of cloud computing globally and in India? And, perhaps things it will be doing in a couple of years that it's not doing already for us?
Well, cloud has become a reality now. Okay, the blend is only a decision making criteria, how much you would want to keep it to yourself as a private cloud, how much you would want to use AMD and other hyperscalers. Now beyond that, it is all about solutioning in a SaaSified model. So my belief is that everything will happen on cloud, whether it is private cloud or a public cloud. Hosted solutions will be leveraged more and more, and AI is going to be implicit.
We are going to all be in a very smart cloud world.
Absolutely smart cloud world. So that will be just given. And where the more and more discussion will happen is what are the new technologies, what are the new solutions that we are using, how we are blending it together, and how we are embedding AI into it.
Well, Manish, absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
My pleasure, Midhu. Thank you so much.
Well, that's all we have on this episode of AMD Cloud Chronicles in association with CNBCTV18.com. We'll be back next time with more real-world perspectives on how cloud and high-performance computing are shaping the future of enterprise technology. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and building what's next. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
AMD Cloud Chronicles in association with CNBCTV18.com.